Hi everyone, my name's Heather Simpson and I am your Better Living for Texans Extension Agent, and welcome to Gardening for Food. Every Monday and Wednesday for the next 4 weeks, we will be teaming up with our Wichita Master Gardeners and our County Extension Agent, David Graff, for an informational videos on gardening for the fall and winter. We will be bringing you information on soil, seed selection, composting, harvesting and maintaining your garden, and finally, we will have some special guests from our Wichita County 4-Hers who will be presenting how to actually take those harvests and make wonderful recipes from them. So we hope you enjoy this series.
You know, a lot of people at this time of the year after COVID are thinking about growing their own food, growing a garden, and a lot of people don't know the first thing to start. And so today we're going to give you just a few things, maybe that'll help you do that. I'm David Graff, County Extension Agent for Wichita County and Ag Natural Resource for AgriLife Extension. The most important thing that you need to do when you're going to go a garden is about your soil. You have to have good soil before you can count on having a good garden. You need soil that has good infiltration. In other words, it'll let the soil take up the water. For instance, clay is not very good at infiltration. If you get a good heavy rainfall, it'll actually run off rather than coming in. You want good drainage, which clay is not very good for that. It actually holds the water almost too well, and so that's a problem with drainage. Sand, on the other hand, has really coarse particles, and so it actually allows drainage that is too fast. So when you get rain, it'll hold it for a short period of time, but it'll take more water to irrigate sand than it will for clay. One of the most important things as well is we want a soil that'll actually hold nutrients in it. Because sand drains so well, it'll actually let nitrogen leach through it too rapidly. You can add nitrogen to it. What we need to know is that really good soil is something that is a loam, which it actually allows for good infiltration. It allows for good, almost ideal drainage, and is really good at retaining nutrients. So one of the things that I'm going to do today is I want to show you infiltration for clay, and also compare that to infiltration in what we call a garden mix that is 50% of really good compost and 50% topsoil. And so what that's going to show us is infiltration and also drainage in these. Now, what we're going to do today is just show a demonstration of the infiltration for the differences in two soil types, and also the drainage of it, because both are very important if you want a garden to do well. One of the problems is if we do too lack of infiltration, we don't get enough oxygen in the soil for plants. This particular soil type is a clay. This particular mix is a combination of a really good compost and also of a topsoil mix. So what we're going to do is just see that one of them takes up infiltration a lot more faster, and then also you'll see that it's draining a lot better. This particular soil will actually, the drainage is still better than what it is for sand. You know, what you can see is we've got a big difference in the way that these are infiltration. The clay, this one, as you can see, that is just not penetrated all the way to the bottom in this. If you have a clay type, then what that's going to do is it's just not going to go in, especially if you do a short amount of watering, a small amount of rainfall. The garden mix, which is compost and good topsoil, you notice that we had really good infiltration. Also, we had really good drainage there. So anytime you get rainfall or you irrigate, it goes ahead and moves through, which doesn't saturate it too much, and it gives you enough oxygen in it. One of the things that I want to do is remind you of the differences in the soil particles and why the clay is a problem. You'll notice that the clay has really small particles as compared to the garden mix, which is coarser. You can see some organic matter in there. What that has done, it has limited infiltration. What we didn't see, or maybe you not have noticed, is the clay never drained any water out of the container, whereas the garden mix drains it out relatively quickly. What that means is the clay has a lot of water holding capacity, but it does not drain out. We ended up with limiting the amount of oxygen, which is really bad for plants. So let's review just a little bit about what we've discussed. We talked about the differences in sand, about clay, about a garden mix, and so one of the things, if you're not aware, we just do not have ideal soil here in the rolling plains, particularly in Wichita County. So there's a few things that you can do that are relatively inexpensive. The most important thing you can do is add organic matter. Whether you've got clay or sand, either one, you can add organic matter. Now, if you'd like more information about the things that we discussed today, the sources where I got this from was Aggie Hort, and also Easy Gardening, which is AgriLife Extension, has some good information there. We're going to wrap up. We're going to visit with you again soon. My name is David Graff with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension in Wichita County.